making sure the camera's nicely positioned. Okay, just making sure it's nicely positioned. Okay, it's done. Making sure that the camera is nicely positioned. Hey guys, I'm back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing reacting to another early version of famous characters. It's going to be really great. Hope you like it, and make sure to give it a thumbs up.
The creative process can be full of long and misguided detours, and at times it can be a little unclear just how the final versions of our favorite properties were settled on. I mean, it's easy to imagine, for example, an alternate universe in which a video game featuring an Italian plumber stomping on turtles in a magical mushroom kingdom only exists as a bizarre first draft of a much different but equally loved game. Almost all beloved characters started off a little differently from how they came to be known, but some started off a lot differently, and not so much in a wow, that's interesting kind of way, as in a holy shit, what were they thinking kind of way. So today, we're going over 10 more insanely bizarre early versions of famous characters. Bowser from Super Mario Bros. Speaking of Super Mario Bros., the game's creator Shigeru Miyamoto was not originally sure just what he wanted the game's antagonist to be. Miyamoto himself drew the cover art for the Japanese release of the game, which depicts a version of Bowser, or Koopa, as he's known in Japan, that doesn't resemble anything seen in the game. This was obviously before the character's in-game design was made. Drawing inspiration from one of his favorite animes, which featured an ox demon king, Miyamoto loosely based his first interpretation of Bowser on an ox, with bluish-gray skin, no horns, and, for some reason, a yellow mane. Animation artist Shuichi Katabi patched over realizing this design for the game, and pointed out that since Bowser seemed to have an awful lot of turtle minions, that he should probably just be a giant turtle. Miyamoto agreed to let Katabi base Bowser's new design on the Koopa Troopas, giving us a character that we have come to love over 3 decades and literally hundreds of games.
I think his name was King Koopa though in the Super Mario series.
The classic Warner Brothers series Animaniacs always got a good deal of comic mileage, out of the fact that it was just unclear what the hell Yakko, Wacko, and Dot are supposed to be. This was of course intentional, but when the series was initially conceived, the Warner Brothers were just going to be a bunch of ducks. Fortunately, they quickly realized that ducks have been done to death, and ordered brand new character designs that actually came within shouting distance of the finished products. The main difference, aside from a significantly less polished look, was that there were 4 characters, Yaki, Smacky, Wacky, and Proto-Dots, who was, at the time, unnamed, and was meant to be an unrelated girl with a crush on Wacky. Partially out of concern about a character named Smacky, who constantly slapped people, 2 of the boy characters were merged to become Wacko. Yaki had one vowel change in his name and became Yakko, and the little girl became the wonder sister Dots. It's also worth noting that, even though the show definitely pushed the boundaries of what it could get away with, some samples of dialogue from the early versions of the Animaniacs were even raunchier.
Animaniacs is a great series.
Megamind.
Great film.
Will Ferrell's supervillain turned superhero story Megamind was a big hit for DreamWorks Animation Studios in 2010. Its original story and detailed universe was the end product of a great deal of planning and conceptualization, as the concept art for the film reveals. Aside from depictions of killer mechs, henchmen, and supervillains that didn't make it to the completed film, the early concept art for Megamind himself is quite different from the blue-skinned, bald-headed final product, and in fact betrays a distinct Marvel influence that likely would have caused the lawsuits had this been the final character design. The costume and especially the headdress are extremely reminiscent of Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds, from Marvel Comics. This appears to have been a short-lived yet meticulously visualized design. This piece, along with hundreds of other pieces from the film's concept stage, were collected in the book The Art of Megamind by film critic Richard von Busak. Groot. Tales to Astonish was a Marvel anthology title that had the distinction of introducing the world to Hank Pym, the genius scientist who would eventually become the founding Avenger Ant-Man. The book's title was even referenced as a throwaway gag in the 2015 film Ant-Man. Tales to Astonish. But very few remember that a 1960 issue happened to contain the first appearance of a very early and different version of everybody's favorite walking tree Groot.
Sorry for picking my nose again there, because I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, I just randomly start having these weird things about picking my nose. Yeah, really sorry about that. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to be picking it anymore though, because I'm keeping my gloves on throughout I'll be keeping it on throughout the entire video. Yeah, don't worry, I won't be picking my nose anymore. Don't worry, I'm not going to be picking it anymore.
Unlike the Guardian of the Galaxy, whose vocabularistics is limited to I and M and Groot, exclusively in that order, this version could not only speak, but did. A lot. At length. Stupidly. This creature was from a strange planet called Planet X, and came to Earth to perform evil yet vague experiments on us lowly humans. Experiments which he could not stop talking about in stilted, awful dialogue. This version is also the quote-unquote master of all wood, about which we could make an obvious joke about, but we will not. This just means that he gets stuck up trees to grow larger, or command them to do his bidding, which honestly doesn't seem that scary. Groot's menace was defeated by just the means you might expect. Termites. Groot actually appeared in this tree monster incarnation several times in the 80s, 90s, and into the 21st century, before being repurposed for the 2008 reboot of Guardians of the Galaxy. So is he the same Groot? Yes and no. I mean, he's still from Planet X, like in Tales to Astonish, but it turns out that all inhabitants of Planet X are walking, talking, sentient trees named Groot. Rocket Raccoon.
Cool
Similarly, Groot's partner Rocket sported a few different looks before making it to the big screen. In his first appearance, in Marvel Preview number 7 in 1976, he was called Rocky, and did not have the affinity for guns we've all come to admire in the 2-foot-tall talking raccoon. His later appearances, starting with a 1982 issue of The Incredible Hulk, gave him the name Rocket, and a more familiar characterization. But even when Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy was in development, Rocket's design started off a little differently from what made it to the screen. Along with some trippy 70s-inspired character designs for the rest of the Guardians, early versions of Rocket portrayed him as far more grizzled, with shaggy hair and a beefy, muscular appearance. Somewhere along the line, though, it was apparently decided that Rocket should look as much like an actual raccoon as possible, which instantly made the character one of the most memorable and beloved in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
The first one and the second one was awesome.
Lara Croft. Lara Croft was the first character in modern gaming to appeal directly to the nature of male teenage gamers. The idea for a female protagonist came from the game's creator, Toby Gard, who joked that for all the time spent looking at your character's butt while playing third person, that the butt may as well be female. Yes, this was the beginning of one of the most iconic characters in video game history. At first, the character was to be more of a typical interpretation of a badass video game protagonist. She was portrayed as beefier, more muscular, and more eager to kill than the character we're familiar with. Lara Croft started off as Laura Cruz, a Latina character of otherwise very similar design. Fry from Futurama. The character of Philip J. Fry has become an icon among pop culture savvy geeks, who are unanimously fans of Futurama, bar none one of the smartest animated comedies ever produced. The show's scientific references, inside jokes, and Easter eggs have become the stuff of legend, and Fry served as an audience surrogate. A nice normal guy, maybe a little bit on the dim side, thrust into the show's batshit crazy future alongside with us. While creator Matt Groening has never spoken of this explicitly, early concept art for Fry makes it seem as though the whole regular guy being transported into the future thing, which seems pivotal for the entire show's premise, may have been added fairly late into development. These sketches show Fry as more of a futuristic character, with different versions of an antenna appearing on his head, as well as a futuristic drip.
The good thing about these videos, though, they're pretty awesome, though. And all the first comic of what it showed what Groot looked like in the very first time he first appeared, and when we see him now in the Guardians of the Galaxy universe, he looks really awesome. And Rocket Raccoon looks awesome as well. And all the other characters look cool as well. And all the characters I've seen in the films and the video games and the and all that other lot that I can't remember. I mean, all the cartoons I've seen back then were pretty awesome though, and watching these videos are pretty awesome now. And when I watch like some like interesting videos on the internet, it shows me how interesting it looks. So I'll get back to the video again. Yeah, I'll just get back to into the video again.
As and accessories. Later versions appear to be getting closer to the fry we all know, but these early character sketches may provide an interesting window into the development of a character who had plenty of potential to be an uninspired and boring lead, and ended up being the anchor of a truly great animated comedy.
Futurama is a great series.
Elsa from Frozen. Frozen is one of the most successful original animated properties of all time. Well, mostly original, as it is loosely based on the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale The Snow Queen. Walt Disney had always thought about adapting the fairy tale for a movie, but there were a few problems with characterization, and the masterminds behind Frozen were able to solve this with a few minor but significant tweaks. In the original draft of the story, Anna was a simple peasant who requested that Elsa, the evil Snow Queen, frees her broken hearts, and this version of Elsa was definitely evil, in the classic Disney tradition, and was definitely intended to be a traditional antagonist. But in a creative masterstroke, the characters were rewritten as sisters, and Elsa was made far more sympathetic, a powerful wizard, living in fear of her own powers. Her character was also given a big redesign, and the complex character that helped to make Frozen resonate with audiences all over the world was born.
Frozen is a great film.
Yoda. Of all the benevolent, powerful, wizardly characters in pop culture, few loom as large as Yoda, the Jedi Master who trained Obi-Wan Kenobi, and helped Luke Skywalker to get in touch with the Force. The character was performed and voiced by master puppeteer Frank Oz, but Yoda's original design would not have required such expert puppeteering, only the services of an extremely short actor. Ralph McQuarrie, the brilliant concept artist who helped to design the overall look of the entire Star Wars series, originally designed Yoda as, well, as a Force-using garden gnome. It's just difficult to look at it without thinking of anything else. It's a garden gnome. As night and day as the two designs look side by side, it's worth pointing out that Yoda's diminutive size, white hair, and pointy ears all survived from this original design. But it's fortunate that, somewhere in the process, somebody pointed out that perhaps Yoda should look a little more like he belongs on Dagobah, and a little less like he belongs on Middle-earth, or in your neighbor's garden. Minions. Last but not least, the Minions from Despicable Me made a big enough impression to warrant their own spin-off movie, and have quickly become a ubiquitous part of pop culture. Their simple and endearing design probably goes a long way towards explaining this, so it's fortunate that the film's character designers didn't stop at their first attempt by creating the Minions, or the second, third, or the fourth. In fact, the Minions went through a ridiculous number of iterations, from designs that simply resemble short, stubby construction workers to bizarre, bulbous aliens on wheels, to straight-up robots. Some versions were red, some green, some a weird fleshy color, and even when they began to look closer and closer like themselves, over a half-dozen variations on it were required before it was finalized. The Minions' final design seems like simplicity itself, which just goes to show that sometimes all possible creative venues must be exhausted before arriving at what was right in front of you all along. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like down below and subscribe for more.
Okay, sorry for picking my nose again. I mean, the good thing is I only did it once this time. I didn't do it way more that time because I know I can be very picky sometimes, but at least I had my gloves on throughout the entire video though, so that's a good thing though. At least they stopped me from picking my nose, even though I only did it once this time. And the good thing is, I really like these videos I watch on YouTube. They're really awesome now. And the good thing is, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. All the characters I saw all the characters I've seen on this video was pretty awesome. They were. The Groot one looked really awesome though, and the Rocket Raccoon one. It was like really interesting though to see what they were like though before they got redesigned. And the good thing is, when you look at some like first designs of a character though, and if it doesn't look like it's gonna work out though in the film or game or a cartoon. It's always good though if the first design looks like creepy or weird. It's always good to redesign the character though to make sure that it looks more friendly, more more like friendly and and like a really nice character to get to know is because I mean once you like see characters what they were like before and what they look like now they don't really look really good, they do. And the good thing is when I saw like characters what they were like before we know what they look like now, the good thing is I really like it. And the good thing is I am still sorry for picking my nose once there because I don't know what's with me. Sometimes I'm a bit picky sometimes. But the good thing is I will never ever do it again on my next reaction video. And I'm glad I did another reaction video again. And I hope you all enjoyed this. And I'll see you again soon. Peace. Oh, wait. Is it this way? Yeah, I think it is this way. Yeah.